I used to be a very heavy gamer, as most teenagers are. I was a very big gamer all up to 7th grade. Now let's go back to when I really started my gaming journey. I think it was about 1st grade. I was about 7 years old when I really started hitting the remote real hard. I wasn't your typical average gamer. What I would do, I don't know if this is normal for a young kid, but I'd play the games like they were real life. So I remember, I think I was 8 years old, 2nd grade, when I got my first Grand Theft Auto game. It was Grand Theft Auto 4, about a year before GTA 5 came out. And I played that game like it was real life. And I want you to hear me out for a second. I didn't just go about the game like normal people would and think it was real life. I would literally follow the rules. I would literally follow the traffic rules. I'd follow the traffic lights. I would drive like an NPC. I would go at their pace. I wouldn't run in the game because NPCs didn't run unless I had a reason to. I would shoot like an NPC. I would play the game like it was real life. And I did this for about 4 or 5 years, all up to 5th, 6th grade, where it kind of, that kind of style of gaming got outdated. I started playing with my friends more. And it started about 4th grade, right? Where I used to go every single Monday or Tuesday. I used to go to EB Games, which is the GameStop of Australia. I used to go there and I used to spend at least 2 hours in the store every single week. Once a week, I'd ask my mum if we could go to EB Games to buy a game. Yeah, and I'd play that for the rest of the week. It'd usually be Monday or Tuesday, right? Maybe on the weekends if I had time. After school, every single day, I'd come home, 3:30 I'd finish, get home about 3:45, have a quick snack, which wasn't healthy, and then I would go to EB Games and spend at least 2 hours until it shut, to at least 6, right? And I'd spend those 2 hours really analyzing which game I should get to play for the rest of the week. And the funny thing was, that was when I only chose games that I could play like it was real life. Grand Theft Auto, sport games, Call of Duty campaigns, like all those games that you could probably play as real life, I would choose them. Until I got to about 7th grade. And this is where I picked up the game of basketball. I was very passionate about that game. I took at least half of those hours I was gaming from into my basketball. Yeah, dribbling the ball every single day for hours. I used to get up at 6 o'clock, dribble before school. I used to leave school. I'd stay at school at the basketball courts and dribble for at least 2 hours. So I was a pretty good player, but I had no confidence in myself. I had no confidence, so it wouldn't translate to game. I used to go to basketball camps and everything, of course, with other people. I used to have professionals come up to me and say I had the best handles I'd ever seen as a 12-year-old, as a 13-year-old. That was true. NBL players, etc., etc. But then again, I had no confidence. So that no confidence translated when I tried out for a better team than I was playing for. Yeah, I tried out for them. I got cut from that team. And after that, because I had no confidence in myself, even though I knew I was good, but I had no confidence, I was so scared to miss. I was so scared to let my team down. So I got cut. I fell out of love with the game and I went back to playing games all day. I went back to watching porn 4 or 5 times a day, even though I wasn't really doing that back then, but that was when I really got into that habit. That lasted for about 4 months until I made the decision to start my YouTube channel, a fitness YouTube channel, and I'd actually work out with it as well. I'd track my progress with the community I was building, and ever since then, my life has gone uphill. I turned my life into a video game simply because I found purpose in my life. A person who is addicted to gaming and they know their life is kind of shit, you ask them what their purpose is, they don't have one. You ask a person who doesn't play much video games and they actually keep themselves busy and they're living a pretty good life, they have purpose. So if you're a big gamer like I was and you want to change your life as well, I want you to track your progress in your life. Let's take Grand Theft Auto for example. It's a very popular video game out there. Instead of grinding money and shit, grind your money in real life. Instead of playing the NBA My Career mode because you love basketball, how about you quit that game? Well, you can still play it, but spend more time focusing on your own basketball career. A lot of people will tell you to cut out video games. Don't play them ever again. But from my experience, I still play them. I don't really play them on the weekdays anymore, but I play them for a couple of hours on the weekend sometimes. And I don't follow the traffic rules like I used to. Yeah, because in a game you have a goal, right? You have a clear goal. You may not know the goal, but the game has a goal. So you kind of have a structure put in front of you. whether that be a story game, a multiplayer game, etc., etc. You usually have a strong reason for playing that game. You can do the exact same thing with your life. As long as you set out a structure, set out a plan. Not maybe boring, because you actually have to do some work. But once you have it down pat, and it actually excites you, it's not something boring, I want you to start looking at your life as a video game. When shit goes down in the dumps, when shit is really fucking hard, I want you to think of this like you're playing your game. From now on, I want you to look at your life as a third person. I want you to imagine every single situation. When you go talk to that girl, when you go start that business, right? Whatever, something that's uncomfortable to you that you don't really want to do. I know this may sound cringe to some people, but if you actually want to change your life while keeping the same inspiration and enthusiasm as a video game, do this. And if you don't have any goal, any purpose, I want you to try this exercise with me. I want you to imagine you're 90 years old. Simply imagine, like really deeply imagine that you're 90 years old. Don't skip this. Don't skip the rest of the video. Do this with me. You're 90 years old and you have a minute to live. You've been told by somebody you have 1 minute to live, you're gonna die. How do you wanna feel? And what do you want to look back on? Now, I'm not necessarily meaning what you want to look back on as, oh yeah, I did this, I did that, I achieved this, I achieved that. No, imagine that if you already know what you want to do. But for the people who don't, what do you want to feel? How do you want to feel? Do you want to feel accomplished? Do you want to feel proud? Do you want to feel inspired? What do you want to feel with a minute left to live? And now I want you to set goals around how you feel. But the little things become so much more enjoyable. Because the video game is so high tense, it's so stimulating, life actually becomes enjoyable now, bro. Turn your life into a video game before the video game gets turned into your life. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.